right, let's get right into it. Today we're talking about a super interesting and honestly a really important idea in the world of AI, human in the loop. You'll probably see it called HITL for short. And at its core, it's all about this powerful team-up between humans and machines.
So it really starts with this simple question, right? We have this image of AI as this unstoppable, super smart thing that can do anything. But what happens when it gets confused? The reality is, even the smartest AI can hit a wall, especially when it comes to things like nuance or context or those really tricky ethical gray areas. What's the backup plan?
And that, right there, is where human in the loop comes into play. It's basically a system where the machine does all the heavy lifting, right? It crunches the data, it finds the patterns, but the human provides that last, absolutely critical piece of the puzzle: judgment. You can kind of think of the AI as this incredibly fast intern who flags a bunch of stuff, but it's the human manager who comes in and makes the final, critical decision.
And this really helps to see the big difference. You've got fully autonomous AI on one side. That's the stuff that just goes off and does its thing, no human needed. But with HITL, it's totally different. The AI is just an assistant. It suggests, it flags, but it never makes the final decision. That power, that final say, stays with a person. And that's a huge, huge distinction.
Okay, so that's the theory, that's how it's supposed to work. But let's talk about where the rubber really meets the road. Where is this human-machine partnership being tested in a super high-stakes real-world situation?
Millions. Just let that number sink in for a second. We're talking millions of posts every single day that AI systems on social media are flagging for potentially being harmful content. You know, hate speech, violent imagery, that kind of stuff. There's just no way humans could ever keep up with that volume on their own. The scale is just staggering. That's where you absolutely need the AI's speed.
And here is that loop in action, perfectly illustrated. Step 1, the AI casts this massive net. It just flags anything and everything that its algorithm thinks looks suspicious. Then, and this is the most important part, all that flagged content gets sent to a human reviewer, a real person. They're the one who looks at the context, who understands the nuance, and who makes that final call. Does this post stay or does it go?
But this is where things get really, really messy. Because that human, the person in the loop, they are under an unbelievable amount of pressure. We're talking about making split-second judgments on some really complex stuff. And these aren't small decisions. They can affect things like freedom of expression or even public safety. And imagine doing that over and over all day long. It can have a serious, serious impact on a person's mental health.
Yeah, and this quote really just hits the nail on the head. The process essentially offloads the immense ethical and psychological burden onto human beings. So you see what's happening, right? The AI is taking care of the massive volume of content, but it's passing off all the hardest, most emotionally draining, and ethically tangled decisions straight to a person.
Which brings us to the really crucial question here. When you look at it this way, is this system really about AI enhancing human abilities? Is it a true partnership? Or is it just a clever way to use technology to outsource the most controversial and gut-wrenching decisions that we as a society don't want to make ourselves? It's definitely something to think about.